These little guys do not mess around. So anyway, I'm moving them into a mini hearth that I just received from Tar Heel Ants. And again, in typical fashion, I have no idea the scientific name of this species. Forgive me. So anyway, this was another one of the semi-claustral queens I picked up July and August. This one had 3 nennicticks in pretty quick order here. In this species, I've noticed I've got several more of them, and they've all got, well, most of them have nennicticks at this point. So I was kind of excited to get at least one of them out of the test tube and into a legitimate formicarium. I really do like these mini Hearths. Now, Mac designed this predominantly for, well, this design with like kind of the dome. My intention was to put honey pots in here, but I wanted to move this one over. Being that these queens, I mean, they're so rapidly having nennicticks, I'm gonna have to do something with them versus leaving them in the test tube. So I might have to be ordering some more from Mac here in short order. But and the queens are really a pain in the butt to move. I mean, they pretty much have to have several workers to actually forcibly move them, because they just do not move on their own free will. I've tried to move several at this point, and I either have to force them, or they have to have enough workers that can kind of coax them over. So I'll probably be ordering some new habitats for these guys. And I think I could probably get a pretty good sized colony in here before I have to move them into something bigger. So for the money, these mini Hearths are just awesome. They're great for founding chambers, as well as for something to this effect. I want to get away from a test tube setup, so I'm constantly battling mold, and it's hard to keep clean with this. Obviously, I've got an outworld that I can connect to. Once these guys move their brood over into the new nest, I'll connect an outworld. The honeypot ants that I've got, the queens are fully claustral, which means they don't come out of the nest. Once they're in the nest, they really don't come out. This particular species, I do have one in a talus. They are semi-claustral, so they do come out of the nest. The queens do, so they're much easier to move than the honeypots. My intention was to put a honeypot in one of these mini Hearths right off the bat. As soon as I catch them in the wild, I'll put them in there. I'm kind of running towards the end of our monsoon season here, and I haven't been getting a lot of rain, so I'm probably going to hold off moving them over to the rest of them. I'm going to give it a day or two and see if I get a good rain, if I can go out and catch a couple more honey pots. If not, I'll probably end up moving these queens over. This one as well. So I'll show you a picture of the rest real quick while they're doing their thing. So the 2 on the left are honey pots, and then the 3 on the right are the same species that I was just showing you. And then my next drawer, left is a honey pot, center is a honey pot, and the very end is the same species as what I was showing you before. This species, I do not know what it is. And yeah, I'm talking about this guy right here. It's kind of active, and then this one is a honey pot. And this is a honey pot species, one of my first that I collected last year. This was kind of this one grew pretty rapidly, started in a test tube, then moved them over here to the inception chamber. Not much going on over in this one. This is similar to the queens I just showed you. Some super worms in there. And then this is my big colony, the one that's produced the repletes. And got some super worm and a piece of a cricket in there, and then I keep the queen, or the queen stays at the bottom layer, but I keep the red film over there. This guy right here is a talus. A talus is probably one of my favorite inception chambers, more or less. Let's see if I can get a better. This is a Penguin American there. This is one that you've probably saw in a few of my other videos where the Nenectic is from a different queen. Queen died, so I moved this queen into this colony, and they kind of accept each other, which is kind of cool. Oh, and then this guy. This is a honeypot queen, my first producing of the year. Had 3 worker ants, one's dead, and the other one's there. So this looks like it's going to be a healthy colony, and this is a mini Hearth. I started the queen in the mini Hearth almost immediately, and real happy with it. And we are back. So looks like they're already moving some of the brood over, which is always a good sign, and doing it in short order, so that's always good. So I'm gonna go and let these guys do their thing, and I'll update you here shortly. Okay, just checking in. Looks like they're slowly making their way over. With these guys, obviously, I don't have to introduce heat or light. They're pretty easy going, which makes it fun to watch. Obviously, the honey pots are awesome because they're pleats, and there's just so few of them out there as far as people keeping honey pots. And they are, I will admit, they are a pain to raise. I've had a lot die on me. They're finicky eaters. They're not easy to manipulate in the sense of moving them into new homes. They're just a real pain. They really respond poorly to stimuli, light, heat, so forth. So they're a tough species to raise, and I kind of heard that. So it's kind of fun to see some active ants that move around, don't really freak out to visual stimuli such as light. You know, all of this ant keeping is just fun. I mean, I thoroughly enjoy it, but it's nice when they're a little bit more active. So it looks like the youngest, the one with the lightest color, which I would assume would be the youngest Nenectic, is still over in a test tube. Two ants over there right now. One keeps going over there trying to encourage it to come over. Well, I assume. But what's nice about getting it out of the test tube and getting the foraging area is now I can introduce, you know, solid food without worrying about the mold. I can put it in, take it out relatively quickly. Test tube's kind of a pain to put food in, take food out. So this, we're already starting to eat at it. I hope that doesn't turn into a thing. Come on, you got a big enough home. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I don't want to draw this video out any longer than it needs to be, but I do appreciate you watching. Have a great night, or a great day, depending on when you watch.